hour, and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday, everybody. You all straight, Jay?
Yeah.
Locked in? 402-464-5685. Start a text line. You guys want to jump in the Honda Lincoln hotline if you want to call in, got something you want to say on a Friday. Greatly appreciate it. You can follow the Starter Heyman video stream. It's live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Jump on there and get it settled. It is a busy NFL weekend. Husker Athletics is in a weird place because they've had two basketball games. So both last night's women's game, tomorrow's men's game, Sunday's women's game, all postponed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So and then the gymnastics was postponed. We've been promoting the Lincoln Stars crossover event with Tom Osborne. Tom Osborne has canceled, but the event will still go on. They'll still have Husker football, baseball, basketball players at the event, which begins at 5:45 to do that. And then tomorrow at Upside Bar and Lounge, if you are a UFC fan, Upside Bar and Lounge tomorrow, they will have the NFL playoff games on. They'll have the pay-per-view, and it's a good one. So if you're looking for something to do, that might be the spot for you. So, Jay, let's start with the game because, we kind of we'll go to about 45 here. And let's get into the game that matters most to you.
Oh, the Chiefs in Buffalo.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It's good that you knew that.
I mean, it's one of those things on paper right now. It seems like a quasi AFC championship game. And, there's a little bit of history there. Obviously, Chiefs had obviously beat them last year going to make the Super Bowl Buffalo. And they beat them. The Chiefs, I think, beat them the year before that as well. And then the Buffalo beat them this year. And then Buffalo, getting hot and Chiefs are playing well and you're playing on the road in Kansas City. And it's a tall order for Buffalo to overcome. Number one, they got the dude, Mahomes. If he's not the best quarterback, he's the second or third. They got plenty of offensive weapons, and it's not just Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. They got everybody. They got guys that are sitting on the bench that are real deals, and they got Andy Reid calling plays. And it's about that time of the year where their defense starts to play well. It's kind of like they just kind of figure out the personnel the first half of the season, kind of hone in on what works. The offense gets rolling. And so, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills have a tall order. But what I like about Buffalo is I always have liked the makeup. I like Sean McDermott. I like the fact that every single year that Buffalo has been in the playoffs, they've went a step further. So that lets you know not only is the quarterback getting better, he's learning from the defeats. They're not, and as an organization, they're continuing the progress. So, obviously, I think all the pressure's on Kansas City because they have been the favorite to win the Super Bowl, or one of the favorites since the beginning of the season. They're playing at home, so I think Buffalo just needs to go in there and play their game. I don't think they're going to. I could guarantee you they're not showing up without confidence to beat them. They've done it before this year, and they know they can do it again. They know they're going to get Kansas City's best shot, but Kansas City know they're going to get Buffalo's shot. So I think it's going to come down to who takes care of the ball and who performs better on third down. The biggest thing with Kansas City is to start out fast, and fast isn't meaning like Houston did a couple years ago, get up 24-0 in the first quarter and a half, and you end up losing by 28.52 to 24. Means don't give up any big plays, tackle well. If you have a chance to get off on third down in the first couple series of the game against Kansas City's offense, you got to do it. Get more possessions. More possessions means Mahomes and those guys are on the bench. Their defense gets worn down, and then the advantage, starts to, tip towards Buffalo. So, now, granted, there's more that goes into it and than that, but ultimately that's a big deal. Big plays, play steady, know that they're a great offense. They got great players. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback eventually and a Hall of Fame tight end, a phenomenal player in Tyreek Hill. They got a couple running backs that are more than capable, and they got a Hall of Fame coach. So they're gonna make plays. You know what I'm saying? They're obviously have guys that are top at their set positions or towards the top. So, you got to you got to make them earn it. And when they make catches, make them pay for it. And then, conversely, the offense needs to convert third downs. I think Buffalo has a advantage out on the perimeter as far as against their corners. And I think Emmanuel Sanders is starting to be, more of a factor, consistent factor. I like Knox, their tight end. What I really, really liked is they started to run the ball last week, and at a physical nature. You get what I'm saying? Not kind of like, let's run some trick plays. They were just lining up and running inside, outside zone, little tosses and making some hay. And so I think, with that being said, I think Buffalo's set up to pull upset.
Rico, would you being familiar with both teams?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the average fan rooting for in this game? Are they rooting for the upstart Bills? Are they rooting for the more talented, Kansas City team because they're familiar with them and there's some star power to it? What's the average fan rooting for?
The average fan, I can't really speak to that because my wife is a Chiefs fan, so we're rooting for the Chiefs in our house.
You hear that, Jay Foreman?
Yeah, I hear it.
But the average fan might be rooting for the Bills just because the Chiefs have. It's one of those things where you kind of get tired of somebody who's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So the Chiefs have been, at the top of the mountain for a couple of years. Not Super Bowl champions for a couple of years. They won it, a couple of years back, but they've been right there. Going to the Super Bowl or always the favorite for the Super Bowl for a couple of years now. Whereas Buffalo has slowly been progressing, and the big thing that's helping Buffalo with the average fan is Bills Mafia. Everybody, no matter who you're a fan of, the Bills fans' videos of them jumping through tables that are on fire or jumping off of RVs onto tables, or the baptism of the babies through the little paper towel tables. It's just amazing to watch. So,
or have their girlfriend jump through tables, and then the one guy proposed.
Yeah,
so now she's a part of the Bills Mafia.
That's just got everybody just you know what, the Bills are fun.
Yeah,
and then you'd remember back three Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah,
and no wins.
Or four
in a row, no wins. And it just nobody should ever have to go through that. So you've got people rooting for the Bills.
But they went 4 times.
But they didn't win a single one.
But you would rather go 4 times than not go at all.
That's true.
But I'd rather probably go 2. I don't know if I want to go 4. I mean, it just came. That's a lot to deal with. You just
keep getting there, and then
especially the one against the Giants.
Well, yeah, I mean that's
because they had control of the whole game until they lost.
Well, it's a final drive situation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the Whitney. That was the Whitney anthem game.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the Scott Norwood. Super Bowl. That's the Otis Anderson Super Bowl.
Dave Meggett and
they got grinded
Stephen
out.
Baker,
They got grinded out by Hostetler and Otis Anderson just 4 yards.
That's what's your
4 yards
against
3 yards?
The up tempo
5 yards.
What's your favorite reality show?
My favorite reality show, Survivor.
That's like getting to the end of Survivor four times in a row,
and losing
and losing by 2 votes,
Well,
1 vote.
You play the game really well, though.
You played the game really well, but you ain't ever won.
Well, you didn't really lose. You still
there's a lot of teams that played really, really well, didn't get to, lost in the AFC Championship. They get there when you're just.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns would sell their soul to be the Buffalo Bills.
To get there, yeah, they as long as they don't play the Broncos and have Ernest Biner or whoever fumble at the end as he's running into the end zone.
That's a brutal one.
Like I agree with you. Getting there,
Bernie Kosar is another cold weather quarterback. Now,
yeah.
Getting there is amazing. It's an amazing feat. It's fantastic. Getting there 4 times in a row is unheard of.
I mean, but everybody's right. To get to first of all, for your team to make the playoffs is a phenomenal feat. To get to AFC championships to be consistent winning the playoffs is a phenomenal feat. So forth and so on. But as you get I've never been in a Super Bowl, but I talked to my dad about when you're there, regardless of how the game ends up, you're that close to being legendary.
You're still legendary because
you're still legendary, but there's a lot of things that come to Super Bowl champions that don't come to teams that finish second place.
But doesn't your dad have like NFC championship?
Yeah,
rings?
he has all the rings. That's fine and all. Right. But I can guarantee you from those Viking teams, if they had won 1 Super Bowl, they got 4 more guys in the Hall of Fame.
They got all the other rings. They gave
them but they 4 more guys, I'm sure, that would be in the Hall of Fame. There's guys that make the Hall of Fame being on. They get in faster.
Who on that team? Your dad's first on the list. Your dad.
Probably be in.
Dad should be in.
There's a question whether Matt Blair would probably be in. He's a linebacker. He was on 2 of them. Who's the lineman?
Jeff
Ron
Seaman.
Yeri would probably be in. Jeff Seaman. Maybe
Nate Wright,
maybe Nate Wright,
who had to fight everybody,
right? And then maybe like Ahmad. Just those guys. You could even say Jim Marshall, even though his stats weren't there, but he played like 20-some years for one team. Yeah. And he never missed a game. Now Carl Eller and Alan Page got in.
Who was it? Larson? Is Larson the?
Yeah, but he wouldn't have got in.
Who was the 4th?
It was Larson, and then they had like Bob Lertzman and those guys. Yeah. But then Jim Marshall would have been in right from the Purple People Eaters. You just got to think those guys that you'd be more ready. Those guys would get in a lot faster.
John Gilliam,
right? So even look at Buffalo. If they had won 1, there's guys that would have been in a lot faster. Andre Reed would have probably been in like 2 or 3 cycles before.
Okay, so I'm gonna beef about this. I'm gonna beef
what?
About this. So Gary Clark did it, whatever Andre Reed did, and won titles, and isn't it?
That's on the owners.
Like that.
It's not a beef. You're asking about teams that lost. But you got to think it took a while for Art Monk to go in and all that.
Which is a crime.
It's a lot based
Joe
on
Jacoby's
ownership.
Still not in. How is Joe Jacoby not in the Hall of Fame?
Well, it's the same reason why why they're talking about like Tony Baselli being a first ballot versus Joe Jacoby getting in.
Like
it's like
Baselli didn't play in 1 meaningful game ever.
Correct. Correct. That's just the way it is.
Ever.
But he's on radio and TV.
Yeah, well, I think that's
that's how you change.
So then I'll
right. Steve Young was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? No,
he's not. He really is.
Is he a Hall of
TV?
Well, no, because
he's a Hall of Famer
because people forgot Steve Young in Tampa.
Right.
Like you literally wrote off Steve Young in Tampa.
Right. Because all you saw was the last 6-8 years
where he was already in the factory.
Yeah, and playing with
Rice and Taylor and
Waters.
Well, look how good he was.
Yeah.
Right. So if this leads me to, I guess I should save this until 9:00. But the idea that, so imagine Nebraska's Buffalo, and that they got to 4 national championship games.
Well, they used to.
No, but in a short span now.
Well, in the 2020s.
like now,
and didn't win any of them.
Well, you're like Notre Dame. You're like Notre Dame, or you're like
Oklahoma.
They
don't make the championship.
They don't make championship. You get into. The College Bowl series is essentially like making a national championship, and you're so close, but yet so far.
Would this fan base handle that?
Well, you saw what happened in Oklahoma. That's why Lincoln Riley left. He felt underappreciated.
Would this fan base? No, but you got to think. Back when Nebraska was losing to like Miami every year and Florida State, there were people literally on the top of buildings down on campus contemplating whether to take that extra.
And they wanted Osborne gone because he couldn't beat Miami and Florida State.
Well, that was when he was a little struggling. But I'm just saying, fan base takes it really hard. Yes, this one would struggle with it. To answer your question, it would be. Yeah. We would have all like volunteer police and stuff doing rounds.
Every building would be surrounded with those inflatable, jump pad things.
Yeah, like you're at a funplex.
Like I wanted, okay, so you guys can tell me to stand down if I'm too far out there, but I do want to have the discussion. Let's have the discussion as though Nebraska gets to 4 straight Big Ten championship games but loses. Like they win the Big Ten West the next 4 years. Mm-hmm. They win the Big Ten West, but they do not win the Big Ten championship. What is the reaction going to be? What would the response be?
Well, Wisconsin and Iowa were taking it surprisingly soft.
It wouldn't be good. It would be chaos. And that's fine. I mean, that's the way it should be.
Would it be better?
Nebraska fans consider themselves the most passionate. And the Oklahoma fan base ran Lincoln Riley out of town because all he could do, quote unquote, was make the college football playoff first round. Oh, you can't go any farther. You can't make the championship game. You're in the playoff.
Lincoln Riley, it wasn't all the fan base. He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's always it's going to be interesting to see.
He's in the playoff almost every single year. Granted, he got handed, the keys to one of the fastest cars in the world, but he was still there.
When it comes time for you to adjust, do you want to adjust or do you just want to pivot and do the same thing in another place? That's where he fought. And plus he's getting handsomely paid.
Yeah.
I just think it would be fascinating.
No, it would not.
Jay Foreman.
It would be bad.
No.
It would be bad.
I'm telling you, by the time I'm 60, I would just like to get on a plane and to be heading to Indianapolis. And the amount of partying that I want to do prior to the game is all set up based on that we have a better than 60% chance to win a Big Ten championship. I do not need to be getting on a plane at the third time and we're doing now. It's kind of like it's like we're you go to Phoenix every year for you go to Phoenix every year for for Christmas. No one is just you're looking at the same thing every time, but you're still in. No, I'm not trying to do that.
I just want to point out who people are. It's hilarious to me.
I'm not trying to.
Jay wants to get on the plane and head to Indianapolis with the smidgen of doubt.
Well,
that's it. We're gonna win this, but we could not. But we're gonna win this.
But then
I want to know what it's like because that's the way it was when I played.
But there's a faction of people who just don't want. I would rather suck and know that my heart's not gonna be broken, rather than hey.
Well, I don't want to be like Iowa. And this is no disrespect to Iowa. I don't want to be where I'm putting up second place banners in the thing and we're losing Big Ten championships, right?
But
like I said, Iowa, Wisconsin are taking it surprisingly nicely.
But there is,
isn't there a part of the fan base that would love to be Iowa right now?
I would. Yeah. I would like to be more consistent and be winning 9-10 games every year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't want to celebrate getting second place, though. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to celebrate and hang a banner for an Outback Bowl win.
Right. I don't want to be doing that.
But I want to go to an Outback Bowl.
Yeah. I only want to celebrate wins.
I don't want to have to go to, Just Be Seafood all the time.
I don't want to have a parade for a Tax Slayer Gator Bowl win. But it would be nice to go to the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
You get another year extension, though.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll throw it to break. Rico, your rant is up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloud cover will push into the region by late this afternoon, but warmer temperatures as we'll top out near 30. Winds a little breezy out of the south at around 15 to 20. Overnight, partly cloudy, a low down to 21. Our warm-up will continue for our Saturday. It will be a touch breezy, but an afternoon high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour. And other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. and can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batserats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey Culligan, yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No, I mean they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way.
Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to old school.
Maybe that should be your rant, Rico.
No, that's just,
Can that be my rant?
We can play, but we ain't got none of y'all can coach.
Yeah, it's that thing.
Any of our major sports.
Time to ask the gentleman in the room.
Can that
what's
be my
up?
rant?
What
That could be. You want to start?
Up?
Nope.
That could be yours if you want it.
No, I'm good, man.
Are you sure?
I am 1,000%.
All right, Rico, what's up, man?
All right, give me a second while this gets up.
Oh.
Woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone rang and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that.
Okay, so because of that song, because of that bit on Saturday Night Live, and Harrison is here usually at this time, is there any chance that Harrison can dance like
Jason Sudeikis?
Like Jake? No.
Jason Sudeikis in the tracksuit?
Yeah,
you know what we're talking about, right?
Right. Have you seen the bit where he's just in the background dancing?
It's very simple dance moves. You could do it. Look at it. What's up with that, Jason Sudeikis?
Yeah, because he
did, but he was too quick when he said zero chance. So I'll take him at his word. Right. Don't force it, Rico. Just let him be okay with. That's fine.
Okay.
We could have Nick come in earlier.
No, Nick might not be able to do it today, but he'll have a somewhat of a version on Monday because he'll practice all weekend.
Yeah, he will. He will. What's up, Rico?
What's up with New York? What's up with the Knicks? They look, man, I wasn't expecting, greatness. I was expecting much better than this. I was expecting a better season than last year. And it's all worse. It's all bad. Everybody sucks. I don't know what's happening. They can't win at home, which is strange. It's one of the best home court advantages. You can't seem to win at all. Last night, they lost to the damn Pelicans in Madison Square Garden.
Ouch.
Without Zion. Brandon Ingram wasn't even the one that went off. Like, I just don't understand what is going on in New York. Julius Randle has regressed so far that it doesn't even make a lick of sense. RJ Barrett is in and out of the lineup with injuries, but now he's back and he's actually playing really well, but they're wasting it because they suck. They don't have a point guard. They're using Alec Burks as a point guard, and I love Alec Burks, but he's not a point guard. Derrick Rose is trying to come back from an injury. They refuse to play Obi Toppin even when Julius Randle is struggling. Mitchell Robinson is finally coming into his own, but guess what? He can only make shots 3 feet from the basket.
He is in pain. Rico is in pain.
I just don't know what is happening.
Well, Rico, you probably think like at the NBA trade deadline, the Lakers and the Knicks, who are the two.
No. I don't want Russell Westbrook.
No. See, you got to be an active listener here, Rico. You can't be an active talker. Those two blue blood or high profile franchises have to unload some guys.
Yes,
they have to. Both of them.
Yes.
And it could be in the way the NBA kind of works. If you don't unload them now, your season's gone pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then also your next season is gone because then all the teams around the NBA knows that you have guys that you want to unload. So now you're actually going to be unloading them for pennies on the dollar,
like the Sixers.
And but but the Knicks don't have Embiid, and that's their problem. And so really what happens is, they got to get busy. Them phone lines need to be ringing and they need to be offering. And don't ask.
I think everybody should be on board. Like everybody should be available. You have to make changes, right? Like you have to make changes.
You got to make changes, and you got to be looking in.
I would think that they need to make changes, but they over 75% of their roster is under the age of 24.
So just wait.
I don't know.
It worked last year. There's got to be something that's different. And I know Derrick Rose.
It's Julius Randle.
Yeah, and Derrick Rose was more healthy last year, and he had a phenomenal year.
And he had a great start to the year.
Yeah, he did. But he's just, he's hurt, so you can't depend on a guy that hasn't been dependable from a health standpoint at this point in time in Derrick Rose's career. Because remember, they started Derrick Rose last year because he was playing so well, and it was like they didn't want to because they wanted to keep his minutes down, but he was playing so well, you got to start him.
Well, then they
got Cam Reddish.
He played starter minutes, but he was still coming off the bench. But Elfrid Payton was so bad that they play him like 10 minutes and all right, Derrick Rose, get in there. Now they brought Kemba back into the rotation. He's actually playing decent now after getting benched, and they're going to keep Derrick coming off the bench when he comes back, as long as Kemba keeps up the good work. But it's Julius Randle is really the issue right now because last year was a contract year. He played out of his mind. He got paid. and now he doesn't want to play defense. Where last year, the Knicks made their hay on the defensive end. They were one of the best defensive teams in the league. They started this season as one of the best shooting teams in the league, but it was not sustainable because you don't have Steph Curry. You don't have Klay Thompson.
And Thibodeau can coach defense.
They need to buy in again.
Yeah.
They need Julius Randle to buy in because
here.
he's usually on one of the best players.
I know the Knicks. We're talking about the Knicks, but there's no difference in between the Knicks and the Lakers. You don't buy in on defense, and that's how you kind of got the Knicks making the playoffs and winning the series is big because they hadn't been able to do it. The Lakers, obviously winning a world championship, their defense and the guys that were buying in defensively, that's how they did it. But I think look, we talk about it all the time, handling success. Well, whether it's Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis and Julius Randle make those teams go. Both of them haven't handled success, right?
You got to show up. We'll throw the break. We'll talk the question of the day. If Nebraska made the Big Four championship 4 years in a row but didn't win, how would you feel about it? Well, I'll ask you that again at the top of the hour.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nebraska's never been really good, but they've never been this bad.
That is very telling about how bad it is right now.
Exactly. And it's not Nebraska. It's always had a little bit of an identity where it was a team that would scrap with you.
Sure.
This isn't really a scrappy team.
I mean, the Doc Sadler, Doc
Yeah.
Sadler, they were never very talented, but my gosh, they scrapped. They played defense.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloud cover will push into the region by late this afternoon, but warmer temperatures as we'll top out near 30. Winds a little breezy out of the south at around 15 to 20. Overnight, partly cloudy, a low down to 21. Our warm-up will continue for our Saturday. It will be a touch breezy, but an afternoon high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In boys basketball on Thursday, Lincoln High won over North Fork 65-52. Vincent Garrett for Lincoln High led all scorers with 23 points. Lincoln Lutheran edged out a win over Archbishop Bergen 49-48. Lincoln Northeast won over Lincoln Southwest 55-51. Xander Beard helped push them to a win with 21 points. Switching to girls basketball, Fremont dominated in their game against Lincoln Southeast 81-41. McGabe for Fremont would end the game with 33 points. Lincoln High beat Norfolk 60-31, and Waverly won over Wahoo in double overtime 47-45. In recent news, Gretna has been stripped of its 2021 state football championship title by the NSAA Board of Directors for having an ineligible player on their roster. Gretna will have to return the state trophy, but individual medals will not be required to be given back. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Coppell Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second hour of Old School. It's been interesting conversations that go on. That's all I can say is that, in rooting for programs and rooting for stuff to go on. Mindset is important. Like how fandoms get get in their space and stay in their space.
Right.
But the idea that other than winning Big Ten championships, would the fan base be satisfied with anything less than?
Yeah, they would. They'd be satisfied, but I think you're asking, would they be like borderline going crazy if you go to the Big Ten championships 4 years in a row and you lose?
Mm-hmm.
Any fan base would. I mean, look at Michigan's, right? I mean, they were banging their head against the wall.
Well, they couldn't even get to the championship.
Well, that's what I was about to say. And their Big Ten championship is Michigan.
Right.
Right. If you beat Michigan, it doesn't matter if you lose to like Appalachian State, you beat Michigan. So that's their Big Ten championship. So, of course, you're as a fan base or alumni, you would be upset. Now, would you be like, if you're asking, if you're a true, like there's not too many fans out there that would be like, I would rather be where we're at right now versus going 4 times. Everybody would be okay with going 4 times, but you would obviously be going stir crazy if you go 4 times in a row and lose. You got to think back before I even got here, because everybody besides myself, as far as my uncles and my dad, went to the University of Miami. So it was almost a guarantee Nebraska was going to always play Miami in the Orange Bowl because they'd win the Big 8 and, so forth and so on. But I knew that we always kind of knew that Miami would, beat Nebraska. So that's kind of like the same thing. You make a huge bowl game, and Nebraska probably, if they beat Miami, they might have been able, if they had other things go right, they could have won a national championship before, or Coach Osborne would be able to win a national championships before. I don't really remember. But that was always kind of like the deal. So, yeah, you'd be upset that they haven't got past that point, but you're not going to be like, I'd rather be, not even making it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll say this. Obviously, Coach Osborne and those guys adjusted, found out what works, went and figured out a way to make it work here. And then obviously, the rest is history. So, I always say the great ones adjust and figure out how to take losses and learn. I'm a firm believer that after we beat the brakes off of Tennessee, they came up during the spring and copied everything. Because I have one of my best friends played on the 1998 Tennessee National Championship team. And he said when they got into winter condition and everything in summer condition, they did exactly what we did. They even had a big old fullback wear 45. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up beating Florida State, and I think in the Fiesta Bowl and with Peerless Price. And my best friend is his name's Sean Bryson, who was kind of like he was eye back, kind of fullback, and we played together in Buffalo. And so we had, we'd spend a lot of time talking about it. So, yeah, the fans would be going crazy around here. I would be as an alumni, like, dang, we won 4 times and we ain't won it. But, like I said, before I'm 60, I'd like to have a nice time. I'm assuming it'd be in Indianapolis, a nice time going to the Indianapolis, have a nice St. Elmo's, they have shrimp cocktail in their sauce and steak, and go to the game be a foregone conclusion that we're going to be on the other side of a beatdown, that we're going to be doing the beatdown.
Would the same be said for winning a Big Ten championship 4 times and then going to playoffs and not winning?
So like Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes down to how you lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And are you realistically getting better? Like, I think when Oklahoma goes, they just keep doing the same thing, and they don't, they haven't gotten any better.
They always lose by like 10 points.
Or more.
They get,
and
they start getting like blown out, and then they come all the way back.
Which is fake.
Yeah, and then they lose.
Whereas like Notre Dame, they've kind of grown. You got to think from the time that they had Manti Te'o and they went through the thing with his fake girlfriend, and they played Eddie Lacy and those guys, and they got destroyed.
Rolled.
Then when they, got, beat up by Clemson, and then the next year they played Clemson, they got a little bit closer, so forth and so on. So you can kind of sell that you see some progress and adjustment, right? Like, okay, we might need to do this. You even see Clemson. The first time that they stepped out there into the big arena playing against Alabama, what Dabo said, we got to practice more physically in the lines, and we got to get better. Well, flip the switch. They did that, won a national championship. Then guess what they did? In between Ohio State, when they played Ohio State that year and they beat Ohio State, 24-0, it was their offense and defensive line that won them the game. Now, granted, they had Deshaun Watson and all this other stuff, but it was their offense and defensive line, right? So you'd say, if you learn from your kind of embarrassing moments, then I think fan bases and the people that really actually watch the game can be somewhat okay with it. If you keep doing the same thing and think it's going to work, like if Oklahoma thinks you're just going to line up and throw the ball all around the yard against Alabama and not play no D, it's going to be the same story.
But isn't it more important for them to figure out how to beat all the Big Ten teams and then doing whatever crapshoot you have with who you're going to face from the SEC? The mission and the—
Are you talking about?
The priority would be to win the Big Ten West and then the Big Ten itself, and then whatever happens after that. People's issue with Notre Dame is that they weren't affiliated, so they could set their own schedule and they didn't have to be accountable to anything.
Yeah, they would play one hard game a year, and then they kind of—
But if you come from the Big Ten, to me, Nebraska should figure out how to win the Big Ten West, and that means you've made a series of choices where you got better at the things you need to get better at. Then you can focus on, okay, now we got to figure out how to beat Ohio State, Michigan, which is another thing, right? Then after that, once you figure that out on a consistent basis, then whoever you get from the SEC is whoever you get.
Yeah, but all that'll be taken care of if you win the Big Ten West, because you get enough variety in the Big Ten. The Big Ten's good enough that you're going to be ready to play. You should be portable to go everywhere. When you're talking about Oklahoma and Notre Dame, you're talking about two teams that not Notre Dame anymore, but Oklahoma that plays football significantly different than everybody else and has not changed. Whereas Notre Dame tried to play it way different and has changed. So we're kind of skipping through what Nebraska needs to do to even be in that conversation, because we're talking about teams that's already in the conversations and how they can kind of, bridge the gap. And would you be frustrated? I'd be more frustrated as an Oklahoma Sooner fan, knowing I'm going to turn on if we play Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State. I know we're going to get just beat up in boat race, and we might end up losing by 13. But realistically, it was never really close.
We're going to put up some good numbers.
We're going to put up great numbers, and we're going to have a number one quarterback. We're going to do all that, but we ain't going to have a chance to win. Versus like where Nebraska needs to do, I think if you consistently are beating Iowa or Wisconsin, Iowa or Wisconsin, and you're consistently going down to like the last schedule permitting, the last 2 or 3 weeks in your schedule as either the front runners for the Big Ten West or in the hunt, where you can control your own destiny, or you need like one thing to happen in order to get to Indianapolis, you're going to be more ready to play the other side of the coin or other side of the conference. And then once you get there, you might have to tweak some stuff, but the gap won't be as big as like Notre Dame or as a Oklahoma versus Alabama right now.
Through all of that, the question is, will the fan base be satisfied? Is there any level of success that would make the fan base happy
right now?
Yeah.
If Nebraska won the Big Ten West,
would that be enough?
For now.
For now. Oh, they would act like, it would be. So if Nebraska went from 3-9, let's just say they went from 3-9 to 9-3, because I don't know what was Iowa's record. Was it close to
like 9-3?
9-3, right? Got to be close to it.
Yeah.
So 9-3, 8-4, and they're in Indianapolis. I would look at you crazy if wouldn't be ecstatic at it, because you're actually what that would tell me is you are not only continue to do what you did somewhat decently, in 2021, but then that you improved extremely at the things that you were extremely weak at. So whether it's red zone offense, or I call it conventional running game, offensive line play, say it's pass rush, special team, whatever the eyesores are, that you flipped your roster or flipped your record. And then you're saying, okay, well, we need to go from 3-9, not even eligible for a bowl game, right? Not even a 5-win like Rutgers, right? You're not even eligible, for a bowl.
Somebody backs out, I guess you're
not even eligible for a bowl game, and then we go to the Big Ten championship and say, I guess you're assuming that if we lose and you're talking about there hasn't been progress or mad, then you're just looking for a reason to be mad.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
You're mad for no reason.
And you know what? There's plenty of fans out there, because one of my, I guess, colleagues or friends, two of them. One, Lester Towns had GA down in Alabama. Another friend that is a Alabama crazy fan. It's crazy. He's originally from Baltimore, and for whatever reason, he's an Alabama fan, and he's a Raider fan as well. So I still haven't figured out.
That's weird.
I think he's just
Ken
like
Stable.
Well, maybe that's okay. Yeah, because the ideal vacation for him is to go camping with like no electricity, to go out and take his kids out there and huff it. And I'm just like,
his nickname's Snake.
like we are in 2021 here. You're like, you can stay at a hotel.
Gotta get ready for when electricity fails.
Yeah.
But he said there's believe it or not, obviously they don't get a big voice, but there's still fans that complain about Alabama's success, and kind of in a roundabout way, or like want Alabama to lose, but they dress up as Alabama fans. And there was fans, media members, even when I played, that were waiting for the bottom to fall out. I was dumbfounded. Jason Peter told me that I would never forget this. And me and Jason were somewhere, and I won't say his name, a media guy comes in, and
rhymes with Bipple.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. If it was simple, I would say it, because I had already busted his chops. But he's a Omaha Metro guy. I don't know if he's still involved, but at that point in time, he walked in, and we must have been talking about football, or and there was a few guys around, and he was like, "Hey, that's the dude that voted for Michigan over Nebraska." And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, I thought he was joking. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you not see us beat all these ranked teams all year long? Like, and then you saw Michigan only beat like one, and then barely beat Washington. Like, it just would never register to me that you watched us play in '97 and would vote for us to get number 2, and we didn't lose a game, right? So it's not like we had one. You know what I mean? Well, then like 10 minutes later, and I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Jason, were you serious?" And he looked at me like, "You didn't know?" Well, first of all, I didn't pay attention to that stuff. I figured like we were winning a national championship. I mean, we're undefeated. We're national champions. That's what it was. So I didn't think, and I would never. correlate anything like that. A guy that watched us probably more readily than Michigan
Everybody else
would vote against us, and he was like, "Yeah," and explained to me the story, and I was like, "Dang." And that doesn't mean that he's not pro Nebraska, but it also lets you know that even though that say us three are, say, we worked for Lincoln Journal-Star and you worked for, at that point, Daily Nebraskan, and you're Omaha World Herald, that we all could be watching the same game, looking at the same thing, and just for whatever reason, you watch a team twice, you be like, yeah, that's better than the team that we've watched 12 weeks or 13 weeks in a row, or 14 because we won the big, 12 and X, Y, and Z. It happens.
It's all hilarious. We'll throw it to break here because we got to get 4 segments in. I'll ask the question then. What was wrong with 10 wins? I'll ask that question.
10 wins win.
You guys can give me the answer.
10 wins for Iowa?
For Nebraska. What was wrong?
Oh, you're talking about with
Pelini.
With Bo?
What was wrong?
Man, come
with
on.
10?
See, you must be in a mood today for listen here. Look at this dude over here. He's in a mood today.
We're gonna come back. You can give your answer.
The pot.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover will push into the region by late this afternoon, but warmer temperatures as we'll top out near 30. Winds a little breezy out of the south at around 15 to 20. Overnight, partly cloudy, a low down to 21. Our warm-up will continue for our Saturday. It will be a touch breezy, but an afternoon high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go on and get into it. It's on.
Hey, we here.
It's
Hey,
on.
Hey, you know how the rappers used to start rapping when they hit the mic?
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Hey man, I'm gonna just say this, man. I don't really get involved in high school sports. But I will say this: I thought it was a joke that they were having a thing to discuss whether kids are ineligible or not. So my idea of being ineligible, because I played against guys that were truly ineligible, like really 20-year-old, high school seniors that forged, when you sign up every year and had, finally they find their birth certificate and they should be like a sophomore in college. That's to me is ineligible.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about like a paperwork about a kid that's of age and had been at that school, and then you're saying they got to give back the state championship, like it just screams pettiness, and it makes it. I think it's a bad look for high school sports. That's what I think, right? Because my only thing is like this: did he attend said school on time? Has he done anything else that nobody else in that metro area or even in Lincoln hasn't done? And I don't care whether you're moving somewhere or you got it, because people supposedly opt into schools all the time. This is not something that's new. Okay. So if he's of age and attends that school and plays and has been playing for that team all year,
he's got the grades.
And that's another thing. If it's the grade thing, then I get it. Right. So if you're, and if you're a high school coach that kind of fudged the grades or kind of did, and played them and you shouldn't, then of course I think it. But all the check marks come, and it comes a paperwork issue. That's just sad for high school sports in general, because when stuff like that happens, it's like a boomerang. It will come back to you. How you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
do we know what happened? Do we know what happened? Do we know?
You'll never know what happened, because
I just know it was like a small paperwork issue. That's what I read. Some like innocuous paperwork issue where some papers were signed wrong or weren't turned in time or something.
He went to school there,
but he was there. Yeah. He was there.
It wasn't like
it wasn't
like you just said, "Hey, dude, hey man, you've been chilling at the crib playing PlayStation 5. We need you for this championship game."
With the movie Wildcats, where he up in the
stands. It's bench warmers. He had
the stands hanging out there, like, and this is no disrespect. No disrespect to the player, right? It wasn't like this is the dude that was like the difference maker, and that doesn't make any. You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I get
you. So you had to look hard for this. You get what you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't the quarterback. It wasn't an important defensive lineman. It was a player.
Hey, you know that water boy, man. You know he didn't turn his paperwork in all the time. I mean, it just come on, man.
He played. Let's just think about snap on kickoff.
When was the state championship?
Yeah,
it had to be around Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
Something
like that.
So it's been at least a couple, like realistically, going on 8 weeks. So in them 8 weeks, this is what you. It had to be on your mind. Like you didn't know this before 8 weeks. Like you didn't know this in September, October. Hold up, you didn't know this in July, August, September, October, and majority of November,
because it didn't matter.
Right. So it only matters
after you lose.
Who maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't really care if you educate me. I just look at this thing on the surface. Gretna was the better football team. They won. None of their players were ineligible academically, age-wise. But you're trying to talk about a paperwork issue, and I can guarantee you, all the teams that played, there's guys that played with paperwork issues. It's just it's just numbers. I just go on pure numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So if 1,000 kids in the metro area, or okay, let's just take Lincoln and Omaha. If I don't know how many kids, just say 2,000 kids.
We'll start out there.
2,000 kids at all the schools in Class A, or just all the schools that play. 2,000 kids. You're trying to tell me there's one kid that has a paperwork issue that played?
Just one.
Just one?
And it just happened to be on the championship team.
Just one?
So,
just one.
So having been in several school systems, I know how diligent school districts are about the paperwork.
Okay. So now you're the expert on it. I'm not.
So,
I'm just
in this space, so I've been in public schools
and private.
The private schools work from a different whole level, but the private schools that I coached at were high academic achieving private schools.
Right.
These
so
weren't.
Football, so sports was second.
Yeah. These were folks who were. These were 4.0 factories who happened to play sports.
Yeah.
The public schools, the ones that I was at, were the ones of high academic standard. Like that's why I came up with the study program, because you didn't want kids to flunk out. You didn't want to have that issue.
As you should. That's
so
part
we
of being
put that
a coach.
stuff in place. And the paperwork that is required is in advance. It is in advance. I mean, let me tell you, you cannot step on the practice field, let alone in a game, without that diligence being done in advance. That compliance has to be done in advance. And we've sat players because look,
you gotta get your stuff done.
This stuff is this is the first stuff. Now, once it gets to the point where what you're talking about in the state championship game, the usual elements are academic fail. So you went to class, you enrolled in class, but you didn't go to class, or you enrolled in class and you didn't participate in class, so you didn't actually turn in assignments, that sort of thing.
And you're failing.
Right. I don't think that this is it.
Right.
I don't
it's not
know.
an age thing too.
Right. Because the age.
Yeah, you're not 21 and stuff.
Well,
like
in this day and age, everything's electronic, so I can get a birth certificate in a matter of days, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we can validate things pretty quickly. And you can't say to people, "Well, I'm waiting for transcripts." Transcripts can be transferred in a matter of hours, right? So whatever this was, is bananas that it comes up after the season. Should have come up during the season. Should have come up before the season. Once you get to this place, maybe they found something else. Maybe this is kind of the shell game, that this is something else. This is where it was. So folks are texting in and they're adding their
I got the story. I'm about to read.
Okay, so go ahead and give us that. So
I'm gonna read
actually,
it. So
you know what?
You keep going, and I'm gonna read
No.
this.
Here's where it is. So because we have to have 2 more segments in the hour. So let's go to break. You can tee up the story, and we'll go through it in detail when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Cloud cover will push into the region by late this afternoon, but warmer temperatures as we'll top out near 30. Winds a little breezy out of the south at around 15 to 20. Overnight, partly cloudy, a low down to 21. Our warm-up will continue for our Saturday. It will be a touch breezy, but an afternoon high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Herrick Services in Lincoln reminds us this winter to drive safe. Snow and black ice can pull your feet out from under you and put your car in a tailspin. In 2022, watch your speed, watch your step, and save those text messages for when it's not going to cause an accident. This safety message from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending and snow removal specialists here in Lincoln. Visit them on the web at herrickservices.net. Herrick Services, wishing all a safe and healthy winter season.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside. Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancene.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J, presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
This might be the song that people need to listen to, right? Little Musa.
Little Brothers Johnson, George and Lewis. In bringing up the story, right, that as compliance goes, there are rules set in place. Now, if you tell me that because parent splitting, family splitting, it is a common thing. It is this is not the first time this has happened. Right. He had actual residence in Gretna. He was actually living in Gretna and going to school in Gretna.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, at the end of the day, it's not a good look for anybody. It's not a good look, in my opinion, for anybody involved. It's sad for the kid that essentially now the rest of his life he has to be, if he has, I'm sure, feels some kind of way his parents separating. Now he's feeling like he's part of. I mean, that's part of what kids sometimes go through. That they're the problem, right? Then all of a sudden, now the thing that he probably is a good outlet for him, sports. He's made a ton of friends in that school district and that school, coaches included. They go on to win a state championship that they never had thought that they were going to win. When the season started,
yeah,
everybody thinks they're going to win, but look, there was 3 or 4 teams that they're odds-on favorite, right? They go do in essentially the unthinkable. And essentially, a lot of ways, you're blaming them because of a paperwork issue, and it has to do with like a family issue. I mean, at some point in time, when you're on these boards, right? Like, do you not you can't be so callous to think that this stuff doesn't happen? Because I'm a firm believer. If you jump out there and set the precedence of this, right? So does that give everybody the authority to go back and check everybody else that throughout then you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then what took so long? This kid didn't come out of nowhere.
No.
I mean, it's not like, they had, it'd be like Rico's wearing 44 week 1 through 8, and here I come and I'm wearing 44 week 9 through 12.
Same number 24.
Right?
Same number 44.
You know what I'm saying?
Same
It ain't
44.
like they did those switcheroo, like Jay's suspended and I put on Rico's uniform, but I keep my helmet on all the time, but I have the same body type. And yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all jokes aside, all opinions aside, nobody really knows unless, there's what was ruled, what was thought was happened, and what really happened. And that's who really knows what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anything was done maliciously, like trying to gain an advantage. And so I just think it's sad for it's sad for, the people, the people that had to make the decision. Cause I'm sure I'd like to think that they had some angst over it, even though it was an 8-0 vote, which was beyond me.
That's just baffling.
I
think there's got to be some sort of human element to this, because it's not like there's nothing so the paperwork was filed incorrectly, but everything else about this case, about where the kid lives, he lives in the district, so him going to the school is totally legal. He can go to this district where he lives, or he can't go to the school because he lives within the district. Everything is within the realm of this is totally fine, except for a piece of paper.
Yeah.
In this case, because in some cases, other cases where people go outside of their school district.
Yes.
Out of that school district,
out of the
zone,
and
out of the zone to go to a different school.
And there's a thing that they had on the, I think, Netflix show with the one coach that was originally from Alabama, that he's down somewhere in like Georgia, where the dad and the mom kind of faked a divorce, and he remember California wasn't playing, and then he moved down there, and then he became ineligible. Well, first of all, they started losing, and then the coach went a little crazy, and then he's at Miami now. Now that's a maliciously type of deal, right? In whatever reason, because I think he was committed to USC or UCLA already, so there really wasn't a reason for him to really go to that magnitude to play high school football, because you could have just trained and you're already committed to one of those schools. This doesn't pass the smell test, but the ruling was the ruling. I just think it's a sad deal just for the kid, and because I know that I don't know, but I just assume that it wasn't done.
But that's what I'm saying. There's got to be some sort of human element to this.
I just wonder how it was an 8-0 vote. I don't even think I don't even think like Microsoft has board meetings that go 8-0. You get what I'm saying?
Who brought this up?
It doesn't say.
Yeah, you ain't never gonna find out. Nobody's ever gonna come out and say, you know what, I did this. I feel this is 100 emphatically wrong. So there's no reason even to ask.
I find all of it amusing because I'm old enough to have been in that initial busing class where the rezoning of schools. There are parts of the country where if you tried to do this, you would be arrested and be sent to jail.
There's a lot of stuff that it's just weird, man. It's just but
there's that part.
I don't think that.
Jay, this is what's funny. I lived in a space where there was a football factory in walking distance, and I was bused all the way across county to a different program.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different.
Because before that, I would not have been allowed to go to that school. And then it would have been deemed recruiting for this school to take me to become a 3-sport athlete.
Yeah, I mean it's
so there's levels to people got to understand. These are not current rules for current existence. A lot of this is a long journey from having rules set in place to prevent people from going to get Jay Foreman from Eden, Prairie, Minnesota, to play at Lincoln High School because he has somebody there that wants him to be a future part of Nebraska's football program.
Right. Yeah.
Because those things all exist. We all have examples for basketball. In some cases, they even create a charter school in a trailer in a district just so that they can allow basketball players to play for said coach in this space. Yeah. So what the folks need to do, for the folks that care, you need to get with your school district and be loud in, this is how we want this to be done. Because if it's okay for one player to play in another district without documentation, like, because some are doing it without documentation.
Yeah.
Some are just doing it. Some are just saying, hey, I live in A, but I'm going to play in B because I want to.
Right.
And if you can allow that, or you can say, if you can do that, but you have to document first why, and be honest about why you're doing it. There's so much of shell game going on, Jay. They need to stop. Just be honest with yourselves and say, why am I doing this? Why do I want my kid to play here? It's fair. If you divorce or separated and you don't want to be near somebody, guess what? That happens. So make rules with society as it currently exists in play.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day.
Simple.
At the end of the day, it's sad. I know it probably I'm sure the complaint maybe takes a little bit longer than we're thinking it, but at the end of the day, I mean, do we? I would like to think we got more to complain about.
Yes,
right?
we do.
You know what? How about we complain about giving everybody, putting more resources into, I guess, education or physical training, so our teams would be better. That something like. I mean, just if you want to, they always say stick to sports. You complain about that.
No,
If you're complaining about that, you need to be complaining about getting your butt kicked.
Put the first thing first, and people keep getting lost. Put the first thing first. If they are going to school, it's supposed to be going to school, and football is a varsity. It is an activity. It's not the focus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's funny, but that's how funny all of this is to me.
Right. Hey, man, they gotta do what they gotta do, player.
Right?
I'm telling you, boy, if I was in Gretna, I'd tell cats ACLs, ankles. I'm trying to take cats smooth out next year. I got hit list long as a which.
But at least they get to keep their medals. That's what the board voted also.
You get to keep your state championship ring?
Yeah.
You
get to keep your medal. That
so you
like
the
trophy back.
The rings have already been made.
Yeah.
They
have to give the trophy back.
You the Michigan Wolverines?
Oh, the ring has been made. I'm wearing this ring like a mug.
Oh yeah.
Like this.
I wear my medal every game.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to the school district we beat. I'm just gonna walk through the school, flashing it like Wayne and Gart.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna request from coach that you put patches on the uniforms.
At the end of the day, I know Gretna in theory is still the state champ. So people that
they won the game. Yeah. They won the game. It's all weird. All right, Rico. So you can finish this on a high note, and then we'll get Jay's picks for this weekend's NFL playoff games. We'll do that next when we close out Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside. Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill has 2 Lincoln locations that are great for any occasion. If you're downtown for a basketball game or a concert, stop by their newest spot at 10th and P. Don't forget to check out their social media pages to learn about any concerts on stage at Rosie's. If you want to avoid a busy downtown scene, head over to the original Rosie's just south of 14th and Highway 2 for a feeling of your local hometown bar. There's plenty of TVs at both places and great food and drink. What are you waiting for? Rosie Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P and on South 14th Street.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancenE.com. Herrick Services in Lincoln reminds us this winter to drive safe. Snow and black ice can pull your feet out from under you and put your car in a tailspin. In 2022, watch your speed, watch your step, and save those text messages for when it's not going to cause an accident. This safety message from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending and snow removal specialists here in Lincoln. Visit them on the web at herrickservices.net. Herrick Services, wishing all a safe and healthy winter season.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In boys basketball on Thursday, Lincoln High won over North Fork 65-52. Vincent Garrett for Lincoln High led all scorers with 23 points. Lincoln Lutheran edged out a win over Archbishop Bergen 49-48. Lincoln Northeast won over Lincoln Southwest 55-51. Xander Beard helped push them to a win with 21 points. Switching to girls basketball, Fremont dominated in their game against Lincoln Southeast 81-41. McGabe for Fremont would end the game with 33 points. Lincoln High beat Norfolk 60-31, and Waverly won over Wahoo in double overtime 47-45. In recent news, Gretna has been stripped of its 2021 state football championship title by the NSAA Board of Directors for having an ineligible player on their roster. Gretna will have to return the state trophy, but individual medals will not be required to be given back. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Used to say, take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you
We will start the final segment with Rico's question of the day. Rico, what you got?
All right. My question of the day has to do with the 2020 Nebraska football boys state champion Gretna Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
In case anybody forgot, they won the state championship last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody remembers that.
No.
Thank
you.
Zayn Flores was the quarterback for that Gretna Dragons team, who ended up winning the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
How many passing touchdowns did Zayn Flores have on the season?
31. That's my guess.
No. Lower.
Yeah, I would have said for some reason like 23 and 8.
Higher.
29.
Lower.
28. 6.
Right in between.
What was it?
27.
27.
How many? 27 touchdowns.
7 picks, and as a team, they had 25 rushing touchdowns. Very balanced attack.
So they try to be physical.
Well, that's how state championships are won.
That is true.
There we go. So we figured that out. Well done. All right, so let's go through the 4 games this week. Let's figure out. We know who Jay's picking in Kansas.
That's guaranteed.
Kansas City.
There's 3 games.
Okay, so we go full on. Rico's choosing Kansas City.
I got Buffalo.
Jay has Buffalo.
All right.
Let's go to Cincinnati and Tennessee.
Man, I love some Joe Burrow, but I love King Henry just a little bit more. And I love some Mike Vrabel. I'm going to go with Tennessee just because of experience, and they're at home.
How many of these can we differ on? Because I'm going with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that explosive offense.
You know what's
Zach
crazy?
Taylor and the Bengals.
Jamar Chase has the highest, and I don't put much into PFF. He has the highest rating on PFF, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Dude just coming right out the crib, and then they were talking about he couldn't catch it in the preseason.
He couldn't. No, there was videos of him in practice in the preseason. He couldn't catch. He was dropping everything.
You know what that is? He just did the Hoboken hustle on him.
Gave him the okey doke.
Yeah.
Hit him with the okey doke.
He said, you know what? I'm going to look garbage, but then I'm just going to go ahead and just destroy you when I get out here.
One hand.
All right, the next game.
What happens at Lambeau Field?
I'll let you pick this one first.
Okay. I think what is expected to happen at Lambeau Field happens.
Green Bay?
Green Bay. They're dealing with a lot of injuries, but
yeah,
I think Rodgers.
Green Bay's getting healthy, and San Fran's a little banged up with the quarterback. And then Warner's hurt. Not hurt, but he's compromised as he's the leader of their defense. So I'm gonna go with Green Bay, okay, because of health, because they got an all-pro tackle coming back now. And their offensive line actually played well.
Bakhtiari, right?
Yep, he's coming back. I'm gonna go with Green Bay. But I would not be surprised that 49er gang wins and wins handily.
I hope the 49ers win.
Yes.
Picking
yeah, that's my same sentiment.
Let's go to Tampa. What happens to Tampa?
Tampa's dealing with a rash of injuries, and like you said earlier, they just things haven't gone right towards the end of the season for Tampa. I still think they're the favorite, but I think the Rams are turning it on at just the right time. I think they do just enough. And the Rams go out east and win.
Yeah, I want Tampa to win. I never bet against Brady, but I think that the way that the defense is played, Tampa's defense is played, and the way that their offensive line is just, I mean, Wirfs is the dude, but he's definitely hurt. And the Rams defense is starting to get hot. They got 3-level guys, so that kind of always teeters me there. But the thing that really scares me is Matthew Stafford. That dude scares me.
You don't trust Matthew Stafford?
Not one bit. Not one bit. But you know what, though?
Why not?
But you know what, though?
He's still got some Detroit on him.
Yeah,
he's still got some Detroit Lions on him.
You know what, though? I'm gonna go. I'm going Tampa because here's why.
Why?
Devin White is off the charts come playoffs, and he is the ultimate eraser at line. I've never seen a guy be 245 pounds and legitimate. You know how they say guys run 4.3s and 4.4s? He legit.
Yeah.
And plus he likes horses. He rides a cowboy. He's
also
a cowboy.
He's got his running mate back.
Yeah, he's got Levante Davis
back.
And Shaq Barrett is back. JPP. And for whatever reason, the House of Spears plays better in the playoffs. And so I'm gonna go with Tampa being at home. Somehow, some way, they are going to be able to manufacture enough offense and consistent offense to put the pressure on Stafford, and Stafford will succumb to pressure like he always does.
I think Stafford's gonna take in all the energy of Georgia winning the national championship, and he's going back down south, and he's just gonna absorb all of that, and he's just gonna be like, "Let's go! They won the national championship finally. I'm gonna get to this Super Bowl."
Stafford realizes he doesn't get a championship ring, right?
He doesn't know that yet.
Okay, he didn't make a play on.
No, he didn't know that yet. Yeah. Don't tell him.
Yeah,
don't tell him yet.
A little frightening. All right, so those are the consensus picks. Again, one final time: who's most likely to lose of the 8 teams? If you have
even against our picks,
who's the one do you think?
I would say just off. Just because of the drastic difference of how they play. I would say two. I would say Tennessee because of Joe Burrow knows it. They don't know any better, right? And they have their kryptonite, for Tennessee. And then also I'd say Tampa just because of the way they played and the way that their offensive line is banged up.
Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. One-on-one, we have a special guest. Mama Joseph is in the house. We got Priscilla Joseph in the house. She'll go one-on-one. Let us know what it's like to be in town. What we can expect.
First of all, it's cold for it though.
Hey,
a little bundled up.
Get to that cold.
We found it out. Stay tuned. One-on-one's up next.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer.